Welcome to our deep dive today.
Oh, great to be here.
We're going to be exploring the
Yep.
world of general purpose AI in 2025.
Exciting stuff.
It is, and our guide for this journey is going to be the International AI Safety Report 2025.
Yes.
This is a pretty awesome report, and
Yeah.
it's a
It is a collaborative report
a collaborative report.
with insights from governments and some of the biggest names in AI.
Absolutely.
Think Google, DeepMind,
Right.
Meta, and others.
Yeah, so you know this report.
I think what's really interesting about it,
It doesn't just skim the surface, right?
no, it does.
It really digs into
It really digs into where AI is headed.
yeah,
And I think it kind of paints a picture that's both exhilarating
right.
and honestly a bit daunting
Okay.
when you start thinking about, AI becoming 10,000 times more powerful
Oh, wow.
than it is today.
Yeah.
The potential for things like, manipulation of public opinion or even the design of bioweapons.
That's scary.
There's a lot to unpack.
It is. It sounds like a wild ride. So let's start with the foundation.
Sure.
The report mentions this AI life cycle with things like pre-training
Yes.
and fine-tuning. It almost sounds like raising a digital child in a way.
That's a great analogy, actually.
Okay.
Because pre-training is kind of like teaching a child the alphabet and basic grammar.
Right.
You're feeding these AI models massive amounts of data,
Uh-huh.
text, images, audio,
Mm-hmm.
and they start to kind of recognize patterns and make connections
I see.
from that.
And this is where the sheer scale of computing power comes into play, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the report mentions some pretty mind-boggling numbers.
It does.
Like, we're talking huge increases in the coming years.
It predicts a 100x increase in compute power by 2026.
Okay.
And get this 10,000x increase by 2030.
Wow,
It's incredible.
it's moving so fast. So are we talking like billions of dollars just to train one of these models?
Well, the report says that pre-training compute costs could potentially exceed $1 billion
$1 billion?
for some models by 2027.
It's more than some countries' GDPs.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is.
So even with all that power, though, are there any limitations holding AI back?
Well, there are definitely bottlenecks to consider.
Okay.
It's kind of like, think of it like building a superhighway.
Yeah.
You need not just raw power, but also enough lanes, on-ramps, and exits.
Okay.
And for AI, this translates to challenges like data availability,
Mm-hmm.
access to specialized AI chips,
I see.
capital investment, and even the energy
Oh,
required
it makes sense.
to run these massive systems.
Yeah, so it's not just about the power, it's about all the infrastructure around it.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like we're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in computing.
Yeah.
But let's move beyond the technical aspects for a second.
Sure.
What can this superpowered AI actually do in 2025?
Right.
I mean, the report mentions something called modalities and capabilities.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
So think of modalities as kind of AI senses. So they're referring to the types of data
Mm-hmm.
an AI can process,
I see.
like text, images, video, even actions in the real world.
Okay.
And capabilities are kind of the skills that AI develops within each modality.
Okay.
So for example, in the text modality, an AI might be capable of writing an essay or translating languages.
So it's not just like one giant AI brain.
Right.
It's like a set of specialized skills that can work together.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and one of the most intriguing developments, I think, is the rise of these AI agents.
AI agents. Okay.
Yeah.
What are those?
So these are AI systems that are actually designed to act independently.
Independently. Wow.
Yeah.
So like little digital assistants,
Kind
but
of,
with a lot more freedom.
but with a lot more autonomy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does.
So what kinds of tasks can these AI agents handle?
They're getting incredibly good at things like web browsing,
Okay.
conducting research,
Mm-hmm.
and even basic cyber attacks.
Really?
Yeah, there was a fascinating study
Okay.
where these AI agents were kind of equipped with a bit of extra software
Uh-huh.
called scaffolding.
Scaffolding.
Yeah, think of it as kind of like giving them a toolkit.
Okay.
And they were able to successfully complete nearly 40% of 77 different tasks,
Wow.
which is similar to how humans performed
So they're like as good as humans at certain things.
on the same tasks.
That's both amazing and a little unnerving.
It is remarkable.
I'm starting to understand why this report is so important.
Yeah, and it's not just about them performing those existing tasks.
Right.
There's this test called the GPQA Diamond Science Test.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah, it's where AI is challenged to answer like really complex questions.
PhD level science question.
Yeah.
Really tough stuff.
And the progress they've made on it is astonishing.
It is.
In just a short amount of time.
Yeah, in less than a year.
I mean, are we talking
But
about
the accuracy rate jumped from 33% to 70%,
That's a huge jump.
which matches the performance of actual PhD experts.
Wow, so they're not just memorizing facts.
No, they're getting much better at reasoning. They
Right.
can even write out these long chains of thought
Chains of thought.
to solve problems.
So it's like they're thinking things through.
Yeah, step by step.
Wow, that's really incredible.
It is.
I mean, that raises an interesting question.
What's that?
What does this mean for the future of work if AI can tackle such complex challenges?
That's a crucial question,
Yeah.
and it's something we'll definitely delve into.
Okay, good.
But, beyond just getting bigger and more powerful,
Right.
AI is also becoming smarter in how it uses what it knows.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So there's this concept called inference time enhancements.
Inference time enhancements. Okay, break that down for me.
So imagine you've learned to ride a bike,
Yeah.
but you want to improve your stability and control.
Uh-huh.
Instead of learning to ride all over again,
Right.
you add training wheels.
I see.
That's kind of like inference time enhancements for AI. I think
Okay.
they're not about retraining the entire model, but rather adding these small tweaks
I see.
that improve its performance.
So it's like fine-tuning the engine rather than rebuilding the whole car.
Exactly.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah,
But I can't help but think about the potential downsides.
sure.
We've talked about all these incredible capabilities,
Yeah.
but what about the risks?
Right.
The report mentions things like manipulation of public opinion,
Uh-huh.
bioweapon design.
Yeah.
That's where things start to feel a bit unsettling.
Well, you're right, and those are serious concerns.
Yeah.
Let's start with the manipulation of public opinion.
Okay.
I mean, we've already seen how misinformation can spread online.
Right.
But imagine AI creating fake news articles,
Oh, wow.
social media posts,
Uh-huh.
even videos
Yeah.
that are virtually indistinguishable.
From human-generated content.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're entering a world where we can't trust anything we see or read online.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah, how can we even tell what's real anymore?
Well, the report highlights these studies
Okay.
that are showing that AI-generated content can be just as persuasive
Really?
as human-written content,
Wow.
which raises the question of, how do we navigate this world
Right.
where it's increasingly difficult to discern fact from fiction?
That's a chilling thought.
It is.
And then there's the potential for bioweapon design using AI.
Right.
This is where things start to feel like a sci-fi thriller.
Well, the report really underscores how AI is kind of changing the game in bioweapon design.
Okay.
Imagine an AI tool capable of designing proteins 300 times stronger
300 times.
than anything we have now.
That's a staggering thought.
They even mention this specific tool called Alpha Proteo.
Alpha Proteo.
Yeah.
I mean, that could lead to incredible medical breakthroughs,
Absolutely.
but in the wrong hands.
That's the thing.
That's scary.
It's a classic dual-use dilemma.
Yeah.
Incredibly powerful tools
Uh-huh.
that can be used for good or for evil. And it's not just about designing new proteins.
What else?
AI can also help predict new virus variants
go.
before they emerge,
That's incredible.
which again could be revolutionary for vaccine development,
Right?
but also potentially dangerous if used for malicious purposes.
Yeah, it's like a constant arms race.
You-
Not just in terms of who has the most powerful weapons, but who has the smartest AI.
In a way, yes.
Wow.
The report delves into how AI is being used in both cyber offense and defense.
Okay.
So we're seeing AI participate in these cybersecurity challenges,
Uh-huh.
and it's getting better all the time.
Really?
Now it can't beat the best human experts yet.
Okay, that yet is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
Yeah, it is.
I have to admit, the idea of AI models working together, like advising each other to carry out attacks,
Yeah.
it's straight out of a cyberpunk novel.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
This constant back and forth,
Yeah.
the evolution of strategies on both sides.
It really makes you think about the kind of future we're heading towards.
It does. This has been an incredibly insightful discussion so far,
I agree.
but we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
Perhaps it's time for a little break.
Sure.
We can come back and explore, how these developments in AI might impact the future of work.
Mm-hmm.
What steps we can take to manage these unprecedented risks.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on what we've discussed so far.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pick up where we left off when we return.
That's good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into general-purpose AI.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating discussion so far.
It really has.
Hasn't it?
Before the break, we were talking about,
Yeah.
some pretty concerning scenarios like AI-driven manipulation,
Huh?
bioweapon design.
Yeah, a lot to process.
It's a lot to process.
For sure.
So before we get too lost in the dystopian possibilities,
Sure.
let's shift gears a little bit and explore how AI might impact the future of work. Yeah, it's a topic that often sparks a lot of anxiety, I think.
It does.
But it's important to approach it with a balanced perspective, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time I see a headline about AI,
Right.
it seems like, robots are about to take over all our jobs.
The robots are coming.
So what does the report say about this?
Well,
Is it all doom and gloom?
I mean, it does acknowledge the potential for some job displacement
Okay.
as AI becomes increasingly capable of automating tasks that were previously done by humans.
Right.
But it also emphasizes that AI can drive significant productivity gains,
Okay.
which can benefit, businesses
Right.
and the economy as a whole.
So it's not as simple as saying, like, AI equals job losses?
No, it's much more nuanced than that.
Okay, there's more to it.
Yeah, think of it as kind of a transformation
Okay.
rather than a complete takeover.
Okay, so, like, some jobs will change.
Exactly.
And some jobs might go away.
Potentially. Yeah.
But new jobs will be created.
Right. It's highlighting the fact that AI adoption is actually happening at an even faster rate
Really?
than previous technologies like personal computers or the internet.
Faster than the internet?
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
I know.
What's driving this?
Well, it's a combination of factors.
Okay.
The increasing availability of data,
Huh?
the development of these specialized AI chips,
Right.
and the falling cost of computing power.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's all kind of contributing to this accelerated pace of adoption.
So it's like a perfect storm.
Yeah, in a way.
That's creating this rapid adoption.
And the report actually includes this graph
Oh, wow.
showing this exponential growth.
It's that fast.
Pretty remarkable to see.
So we're on the cusp of a major shift
It seems like it.
in how we work.
Potentially, yeah.
So if AI is changing jobs rather than just taking them,
Uh-huh.
which jobs are most likely to be affected?
Well, while the impacts will vary across industries,
Right.
some research suggests that, technology jobs, research and development jobs
Yeah.
might be the most exposed to these changes.
Okay.
But again, it's more about adaptation
Right,
than
yeah.
elimination.
So instead of worrying about robots taking our jobs, we should be thinking about
Right.
how to work with AI
Exactly.
and leverage its capabilities.
To enhance our own skills.
Right. It's about like using AI as a tool
Yeah, a powerful
to
tool.
help us be more productive.
And that makes sense, I think.
Yeah, it's a shift in mindset, really.
Absolutely.
But before the break, we were also discussing some of the potential dangers of AI.
We were.
And it seems like there's this constant tension between the incredible potential for good
Yeah.
and the risks that it poses.
It's a balancing act for sure.
So let's focus on the positive for a moment.
Okay.
The report has a whole section dedicated to AI for good,
It does.
highlighting how AI can be harnessed to address some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Absolutely.
Tell me more about that.
Well, for example,
Okay.
AI can play a significant role in tackling issues like poverty, climate change, improving healthcare.
Okay.
It can help us develop more efficient energy systems,
Right.
personalized medicine,
Wow.
even provide customized education
That's
to
amazing.
meet individual needs.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of potential for good.
There is.
But even when we're using AI for these seemingly good purposes,
Yeah.
are there still ethical considerations that we need to keep in mind?
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
It's crucial to ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly, no matter the application.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
Not
It's
really.
about how we use it.
It's about the values we uphold.
Right.
Transparency, accountability, fairness.
Those are important.
These should be guiding principles, I think,
Yeah.
in all AI endeavors.
So with all these potential benefits, all these potential risks,
Right.
how do we manage this rapidly evolving technology?
It's a huge
It
challenge.
feels like trying to hold onto a runaway train.
It does sometimes.
So how do we even begin to address this?
Well, the report talks about this concept of a defense in-depth strategy
Defense in depth.
for managing AI risks.
Okay, what does that mean?
Think of it as a multi-layered approach,
Okay,
like having multiple locks on your door.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, so it's not about just relying on one big solution,
Uh-huh.
but having this whole system of checks and balances
I see.
throughout the development and deployment of AI.
So kind of like a belt and suspenders approach
In a way, yeah,
to make sure that AI is developed safely.
and ethically.
Right, so it's not just about like preventing the bad stuff from happening.
Nope.
It's also about promoting the good stuff.
Absolutely.
and making sure that AI is used for beneficial
Yeah,
purposes.
and the report actually points out how existing risk management techniques
Okay.
from other fields,
Like what?
like nuclear safety,
Okay.
infectious disease control,
Uh-huh.
are being adapted for AI.
So we're learning from past mistakes and applying those lessons to this new technological frontier.
That's the idea.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's about not reinventing the wheel,
Right.
but taking what we've learned
Uh-huh.
and applying it to this new domain.
So can you give me some specific examples
Sure.
of how these risk management techniques are being applied to AI?
Absolutely. So they talk about this idea of safety by design,
Safety by design.
where safety is kind of baked into the AI development process
Okay.
from the very beginning.
So it's not an afterthought.
No, it's built in from the ground up.
Okay.
Then there's safety analysis,
Safety analysis, okay.
which involves kind of mapping out how different components of an AI system interact
Uh-huh.
to identify potential points of failure.
So it's like doing a risk assessment?
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
And finally, there's safety of the intended function,
Safety of the intended function.
which focuses on making sure that the AI system operates safely,
Uh-huh.
even under unexpected or unforeseen circumstances.
So it's like having a backup plan
Yeah. Kind of like a plan B.
in case things go wrong.
Exactly.
It sounds like we're trying to anticipate potential problems
We are.
before they arise.
Right. Rather than just reacting to them
Okay.
after the fact.
But with AI evolving so rapidly,
Yeah.
can we really keep up?
That's the ongoing challenge, I think.
Right. It's like a moving target.
It is. The report acknowledges that managing AI risks is a continuous process.
Right.
You know, it's difficult to predict exactly how AI will develop
Right.
and what new risks might emerge.
So it's hard to even know where to focus our efforts.
It can be.
Yeah.
And then there's the question of responsibility.
Okay.
Who's responsible for making sure that AI is developed safely?
Right.
The report emphasizes that managing AI risks requires collaboration
Okay.
across the entire AI value chain.
So it's not just the responsibility of like the tech companies.
No, it's everyone involved.
It's the researchers,
Uh-huh.
the policymakers.
It's the people who collect and label the data.
Wow. So it's a collective effort. This is all incredibly insightful, but it's a lot to digest.
It is.
We've talked about the potential of AI to transform work,
Mm.
the challenges of managing risks,
Yeah.
the need for collaboration.
It's a lot.
What are your overall thoughts on the International AI Safety Report 2025?
I think it's a really valuable resource.
Okay.
For anyone who's interested in understanding this complex landscape of AI,
Right.
you know, it doesn't shy away from the potential risks,
Right.
but it also highlights those incredible opportunities that AI presents.
Yeah, it's a really well-balanced report.
I think so.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So what do you say we take a moment to gather our thoughts
Okay.
and then come back for a final wrap-up
Sounds good.
of our deep dive into the future of AI?
All right, let's do it.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of general-purpose AI. I have to say, this report has given me a lot to ponder. It's like taking a crash course in the future, both the exciting possibilities and the potential pitfalls.
It definitely is a lot to take in. We've covered a lot of ground, the explosive growth of AI, the potential risks, the strategies for managing those risks, and the need for global collaboration.
So as we wrap up, what are some key takeaways you think our listeners should remember?
Well, I think the first thing that really jumps out at me is the sheer pace of AI development. You know, we're seeing advancements that were once considered science fiction becoming reality at a dizzying speed.
It's moving so fast.
It is, and this means we need to be proactive, not reactive in thinking about the implications of these developments, both the positive and the negative.
So it's not enough to just marvel at the latest AI breakthrough.
Right.
We need to really understand how it fits into the bigger picture,
Exactly.
how it might impact society as a whole.
And that brings us to the second takeaway. I think the dual-use nature of AI. You know, this technology has the potential to solve some of the world's most pressing problems, but it can also be used for harmful purposes.
Like we were talking about earlier, the same AI that could help design life-saving medicines could also be used to develop more dangerous bioweapons.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool that requires careful consideration and responsible stewardship.
It's a stark reminder that with great power comes great responsibility.
It is, and that underscores the importance of the third takeaway. I think the critical role of risk management. You know, we can't just sit back and hope for the best. We need to be actively working to mitigate the risks associated with AI developing safeguards and strategies to ensure its safe and ethical development.
And the report mentions a defense in-depth approach, drawing inspiration from other fields like nuclear safety. But with AI evolving so rapidly, can we really keep up and anticipate all the potential
Well,
problems?
that's the ongoing challenge, right?
Yeah.
The report acknowledges that managing AI risks is a continuous process, a moving target. It's difficult to predict exactly how AI will develop, which makes prioritizing and mitigating those risks incredibly complex.
So we need to be flexible, adaptable, and willing to learn as we go.
Precisely. We need to foster ongoing research, open dialogue, and global collaboration to stay ahead of the curve. It's about asking the tough questions, anticipating potential problems, and working together to find solutions. No one person, organization, or country can do this alone.
We're all in this together, navigating uncharted territory. Is there anything else from the report that you found particularly thought-provoking?
You know, one thing that really stood out to me was this concept of an AI R&D divide.
AI R&D divide. Okay, what is that?
So this refers to the unequal distribution of resources and expertise in AI development across different countries and regions.
So some countries are racing ahead in the AI race,
Yeah.
while others are being left behind.
It raises concerns about potential economic disparities and even geopolitical instability if a handful of countries control the most advanced AI.
So it's not just about the technological advancements themselves. It's
Yes.
about the potential for these advancements to further exacerbate existing inequalities.
It is, and it's a question that demands careful consideration. Could this lead to a new kind of arms race? But instead of nuclear weapons, it's about who has the smartest AI.
Or will we see a widening gap between the AI haves and have-nots, exacerbating existing inequalities?
These are big questions.
They are, but it sounds like international cooperation is more crucial than ever.
I agree.
Not just to manage the risks of AI,
Right.
but also to ensure that its benefits are shared widely.
We need to find ways to bridge this AI R&D divide and foster a more equitable and collaborative global landscape when it comes to AI development. This is a global challenge that requires global solutions.
This report has certainly given us a lot to think about. It's clear that AI is going to play a major role in shaping the future, and it's up to all of us to be informed and engaged in the conversation. What advice would you give to our listeners who want to learn more and stay informed about these developments?
Well, I'd encourage everyone to explore the report itself, which is publicly available. There are also many other valuable resources out there, books, articles, podcasts that delve into the world of AI. Stay curious, ask questions, and don't be afraid to dive into the complexities of this fascinating field. It's not just for tech experts anymore. Understanding AI is becoming increasingly important for everyone, regardless of their background or profession.
Well said. It's like we're at a pivotal moment in history, and AI is a powerful force that we need to learn to navigate wisely. It's not just about the technology itself, but about the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the future we want to create.
I couldn't agree more. It's a journey we're all on together, and the decisions we make today will have profound implications for generations to come.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of general-purpose AI. We hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights and sparked your curiosity to explore further. Until next time, stay curious.